The Manhattan courtroom was a tinderbox, every seat filled, the air thick with the weight of a trial that had the nation's eyes glued to it. It was June 16, 2025, the 29th day of Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial for sex trafficking and racketeering. Jurors sat stiff, their faces etched with tension. Reporters' pens scratched furiously, slicing through the heavy silence. Diddy, in a crisp navy suit, sat at the defense table, his usual confidence muted, his gaze fixed on Judge Arun Subramanian. No one saw the storm coming, a moment that would leave the courtroom stunned and the case teetering on the edge. The morning unfolded with routine precision. Special Agent Delisa Penland was on the stand, her voice steady and clinical as she walked the courtroom through a trail of financial records tied to Combs' alleged freak-off parties. Drug-fueled, multi-day gatherings that prosecutors claimed were orchestrated to exploit women under the guise of celebrity excess. The jury had already reviewed graphic video clips, hidden from public view by privacy screens and noise-canceling headphones. The evidence was disturbing, implicating not just Combs, but a network of enablers. Still, the defense, led by Tenny Garregos, fought back aggressively, framing the events as consensual and dismissing the prosecution's case as exaggerated and opportunistic. Then, at exactly 10:47 a.m., the carefully controlled atmosphere cracked. A court officer approached the judge's bench briskly, his face pale and taut. He handed Judge Subramanian a tablet and whispered urgently. The judge's brow furrowed as he scrolled through the screen, expression darkening with each swipe. Without hesitation, he called a sidebar, summoning prosecutors Maureen Comey and Emily Johnson, as well as Garregos and Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo. The attorneys clustered together in a tense knot, their hushed voices sharp and clipped. The gallery stirred with anxiety, whispers swelling. Something seismic had landed, something powerful enough to threaten the very structure of a trial that had, until now, remained firmly in control. Subramanian dismissed the sidebar and addressed the court, his voice taut. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a 20-minute recess. Jurors, remain in the deliberation room." The jury filed out, exchanging confused glances. Reporters leaned forward, sensing a break in the case. Diddy leaned toward Agnifilo, his jaw clenched, but his attorney shook his head, signaling quiet. In the recess, chaos erupted behind closed doors. The tablet held a bombshell, a 12-minute video uploaded to a dark web forum at 3 a.m. that morning, labeled Diddy's Freak-Off Tunnel Tapes. The grainy footage showed a dimly lit underground space, possibly beneath one of Combs' Los Angeles properties. Figures moved in the shadows, faces unclear, but the audio captured moans, laughter, and Combs' distinct voice giving orders. The video's metadata revealed a catastrophic mistake. It was uploaded from an IP address tied to a Manhattan penthouse owned by Justin Combs, Diddy's 31-year-old son. Justin wasn't in court that day. Known for staying out of his father's spotlight, he'd avoided the trial's glare. Now, his name was at the center of the storm. Prosecutors claimed the leak was accidental, a result of Justin's attempt to move the file to a private server for safekeeping. A slip in encryption left the video vulnerable, grabbed by hackers and spread across the dark web. By 8 a.m., outlets like TMZ and the Daily Mail had picked up the scent, running vague stories about shocking new Diddy evidence. The courtroom tablet held a copy, flagged by the FBI's cybercrime unit. When the session resumed, Subramanian's anger crackled. "This court will not abide leaks," he said, his eyes boring into both legal teams. "I'm ordering an investigation into this violation of my sealing orders. Counsel, you will comply fully." He turned to the prosecutors. "Ms. Comey, does the government plan to use this material?" Comey hesitated, then answered, "Your Honor, we're assessing its authenticity and relevance. We learned of it only this morning." Garregos shot to her feet, voice cutting through the courtroom like a blade. "Your Honor, this is a setup. My client is being tried in the headlines, not this courtroom. This conveniently leaked, unverified video undermines the integrity of this entire proceeding. We move for a mistrial, immediately." Gasps rippled through the gallery as the judge raised a hand for order. Mark Agnifilo followed with equal urgency, adding, "The defense demands a full accounting of the video's chain of custody. If this originated from Mr. Combs' son, We have a right to know how it surfaced, and why now. Judge Subramanian's face remained unreadable. After a pause heavy with suspense, he denied the mistrial but scheduled an emergency hearing to determine the leak's origin, acknowledging the potential threat it posed to due process. The courtroom, once focused and methodical, was now charged with tension. Special Agent Penland resumed her testimony, but her voice felt like background noise. All eyes drifted toward the defense table. Jurors, visibly distracted, stole glances at Diddy. Though he sat motionless, every muscle in his jaw seemed clenched. Only his fingers betrayed him, tapping a slow rhythm against the wood. He leaned in and whispered to Agnifilo, who scribbled quickly, "Call Justin now." Outside, the media frenzy exploded. Paparazzi swarmed Justin's penthouse, but he was nowhere to be found. A source close to the family told Business Insider, "Justin's devastated. He was trying to help his father, not hurt him. He's hiding, terrified of the fallout." Another insider said Diddy was angry but torn, caught between fury at the leak and concern for his son. The tunnel tapes sparked rampant speculation. Some revived old rumors of underground rooms tied to Combs, though similar claims were debunked in 2024. Others whispered of betrayal in Diddy's circle, suggesting the leak was no accident. Screenshots from the dark web showed a concrete walled space with red lighting and a makeshift stage. No faces were identifiable, but the implications were damning. By afternoon, prosecutors confirmed they'd subpoenaed Justin's devices and were working with the FBI to authenticate the video. Comey argued it could bolster Cassie Ventura's testimony about coerced freak-offs, but Garrigo shot back that its release prejudiced the jury. "This is a spectacle, not a trial," she snapped. Subramanian, looking exhausted, adjourned early, warning, "No one speaks to the press. Violators will face contempt." That night, the story dominated news cycles. CNN's Anderson Cooper broke down the leak's legal impact, while Fox News speculated on celebrity connections. A 2011 clip of Kid Cudi describing a break-in by Combs resurfaced, tying it to the trial's narrative of control. The public's appetite for scandal was relentless. On June 17th, the trial delivered more shocks. Brendan Paul, Diddy's former assistant, testified under immunity, detailing drug transport for Combs' entourage, including GHB, allegedly used in freak-offs. Paul's words, paired with the leak, painted a grim picture, but the defense scored a point when Paul admitted some women appeared willing to participate, clouding the coercion narrative. Garagos pressed, "Did you ever see Mr. Combs force anyone?" Paul's answer, not directly, drew murmurs. The trial's sixth week ended with the prosecution nearing its close. The tunnel tapes remained sealed, their admissibility undecided. Justin issued a statement through his attorney. "I deeply regret any role in this mistake. I meant to support my family, not harm it." Diddy, held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, stayed silent, but a courtroom sketch captured him staring at the ceiling, lips pressed tight. The leak's fallout rippled beyond the courtroom. Cassie Ventura, who'd testified emotionally about enduring freak-offs, faced renewed criticism. Supporters defended her courage against a powerful figure. Other witnesses, like Don Richard and Kid Cudi, stayed quiet, their lives upended by the trial's shadow. As the trial paused for Juneteenth, questions loomed. Would the tapes be admitted? Would Justin testify? Could Diddy's world survive another blow? The answers remained as murky as the tunnel in that grainy video. This isn't just one man's story. It's a window into a world that glorifies fame while ignoring its toll. Diddy's trial exposes the cost of power, the fragility of trust, and the pain of betrayal. It's a saga of fathers and sons, victims and accusations, truth and doubt. And it's far from over. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.